Welcome to the final four of my March Madness Call of Duty YouTuber Edition tournament bracket. If you missed the first round, I'll bring you up to speed. I selected 8 out of the top Call of Duty YouTubers and put them head to head to see who's the favorite. I was actually quite impressed by the response round 1 received. A typical challenge help video that I put out receives about 600 comments. The first round of this March Madness tournament had 1,100 comments. However, there did seem to be a bit of confusion as to the rules. Unfortunately, due to the busy schedules of most of these YouTubers, they aren't actually playing a 1 vs 1 matchup. Although, with that said, it's actually a great suggestion. If I do this again, I'll definitely look into that. Maybe with some lesser known YouTubers that would actually be able to participate though. The voting process is simply who you favor the most. So basically, you vote as to who you like better in each matchup. You can do it by game skill, by their commentating voice, by their content, what have you. Just pick who you prefer out of the two that are up against each other. So let's scope out the results from round 1. And by the way, some of the numbers won't add up. And this is because some of you didn't vote for every matchup for some reason. Or you specifically put that you didn't care for certain YouTubers in the bracket and thus didn't vote due to that. The first matchup was T Martin versus Chaos Silencer. And this one was quite lopsided. T Martin received 407 votes, and Chaos received 238, which just so happened to be the lowest amount of votes out of any contestant. Clearly, not many of my subs fancy Chaos Silencer, so it's T Martin that advances to the final 4. Next was Prestigious Key versus Allier. Now I noticed many of you voiced concerns that the YouTubers with more subs would win. As you'll see in this matchup, that's not true. Prestigious Key had a whopping 488 votes, with Allier only receiving 243. Talk about an upset. Prestigious Key doubled the amount of votes Allier got. That's absolutely astounding. I kinda assumed he had a lot of loyal fans in my subscriber base since he's given me a few shoutouts before, but these results were quite impressive. And speaking of underdogs, the next matchup was the exclusive Ace versus Drifter. With similar content and lots of fans for both of these guys, this was the closest matchup we had. Ace had 397 votes, while Drifter had 352. Given their subscriber count differences, I was definitely surprised by this. It would appear that the torch has been passed, as Ace must have quite the following to trump the legendary Drifter. The last matchup was between two of my favorite commentators, Thunder versus Apocalypse. I realize a lot of you didn't even know who Apocalypse was, which is why I linked all the contestants' channels in the description. I strongly urge each and every one of you to check out his channel. In fact, he's going to be making a guest appearance on my channel very soon. His commentating voice is second only to the former COD legend himself, Xbox Ahoy. With that said though, Thunder's fans were just too much to compete against. He received the most votes out of anyone with 495, and Apocalypse tallied 262. Still, for Apocalypse having the least subscribers out of any of the contestants, he did amazing. He got more votes than both Chaos Silencer and Allier. So for a channel with less than 30,000 subscribers, I'd say that's more than impressive. So there's your final 4. The first matchup is T Martin versus Prestigious Key. Based on the first round voting, I'd say this is going to be extremely close. The next matchup is the exclusive Ace versus Thunder. I think this will definitely come down to the wire as well. Thunder's fans are prevalent, but if Ace can topple Drifter, the sky's the limit. So to vote, all you need to do is leave a comment on this video stating the winner of each matchup. Remember, it's based on who you personally like better. So stay tuned to see who ends up in the finals. I've got more challenge help videos on the way, as well as an important announcement video very soon. Don't forget to vote for the final 4.